Well, looky here. Americans' outlook on retirement has worsened. Worsened, I tell you. Oh boy, some guy wants to go outside. So let's check this out. My man Lynn had sent this to me. And we got to get Knucklehead out again. There we go. And of course, when I open the door, what does he do? He stands there. Make him your bite. I'm not air conditioning the outside, dog. Oh boy, what a knucklehead. All right. So I find this article funny from Gallup. Oh my goodness. Before you suggest, look, my hair is all messed up. Just got out of the pool, man. Just showered. Did a cut. Yes, my shirt is on inside out. I just noticed that. Is that a deal breaker for you to watch my videos? That my shirt's on inside out and my hair isn't as pretty as it should be? Is that a deal breaker? Oh no. So it's like, Pablo wants to get up. Hold on a second. All right, there goes Pablo. Pablo wants to say hello. No, we're not doing that. There he is. Hi, Pablo, your breast. Thanks, baby. Look, let's see some stone Pablo. Look at him. That just cracks me up. And again, there's old Betsy. Tickle your nose, Betsy. Tickle your nose. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah, Pablo is like, my dad is nuts. We got a picture of this lady. She's very worried about retirement. All right, so let's keep this from a Gallup poll right there. You can see Gallup poll. And it's from Megan Brennan, who I'm sure is a first-rate scholar. Did you not know who journalists are? Journalists aren't they're not the brightest bulbs, right? They're not, I mean, they're evil, but all they do is they read press releases from science and from government, and they regurgitate that crap. That's it. They don't ask deep questions. They just don't. Sad. It's a sad state of affairs when you actually think about journalists and you get your information from journalists. Like, we're setting the hottest day on record. That's fake. It's fake. Even the AP has cut back that, well, maybe we didn't mean it like that. But it's like, yeah, but a lie gets around the world 20 times before the truth gets its boots on. All right, so let's read this here. 43% of non-retired adults expect financially comfortable retirement. Yet 77% of retirees say they have enough money to live comfortably. Again, you see the disconnect? Can't you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to keep you in your crappy old job so you don't think and free yourself from the nonsense. It's just that simple. Let's just put it this way. A lady emailed me today, a good lady, we'll say from Wisconsin. And she said, she emailed me this thing is like, about the Titanic conspiracy. Because us conspiracy theories know that the Titanic, there's a lot more than meets the eye of the Titanic. Let's just put it that way. And I'll give it to you to do your own research on that. Maybe I'll link to my man Matt of Quantum of Consciousness' video on that from a couple years ago. I think I will. I'll put that in the show notes. But anyway, this kind of stuff you'd never think about while you're in your crappy old job, because you're working your crappy old job and commuting an hour each way. You work for 8-9 hours, so you're 11 to 12 hours committed to doing some sort of work-related activity. You still got to get 6-7 hours of sleep. You come back from work, you have a couple beers or something like that. You watch the football game, and then you go to bed and have dinner. That doesn't give you enough time to think. And you might listen to Joe Rogan, all right. You might mostly just listen to music. You might listen to some Audible books and whatnot. But it doesn't give you enough time to think, dude. It doesn't. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, the world's falling apart, Oh. And then you free yourself from that. Why do you think the work from home was actually so valuable? Because people had more time in which to do what they wanted to do because they didn't have to get the hour commute each way. They had an hour left at home. That's very valuable. Hold on a second, I'll finish barking. Oh my goodness. What would we do without dogs? Anyway. So the valuable time that you had, you were able to think a little bit more because you didn't waste 2 hours. You didn't waste having to get ready for work. You didn't waste all the time. So you had more time for yourself to think, to free yourself from the crap that is being fed by the corporate conglomerates. I'm telling you, it's great. So here, 43% of non-retirees expect financially comfortable retirement, but 77 people who are retired say they have enough money to live comfortably. I mean, again, the vast majority of retirees are doing just flipping fine. It's been like this for decades. But these 23% don't. Okay, 23% don't have enough lived comfortably. It doesn't mean they're eating and getting ready to go to a pauper's grave. Non-retired Americans' expectations for comfortable retirement are the most pessimistic since 2012, falling 10 percentage points since 2021. Of course, that has to do with the price of stuff going up, inflation. Let's see. But here's the, oh, wait. We started at 81% in 2002. We're at 77% in 2023 from retirees. We're at 2017. When Trump got elected, right about the Trumpster, we were down to, what's that, about 75%? And it's gone from 75 to 77. I mean, look at that. It's been consistently the high 70s, low 80s. 59% in 2012, 2002. So think about it. All right, so retirees' reality and non-retirees' expectations. These people here are over here now. All right, so I just want to come back in. So the people who weren't retired in 2002, many of them are now retired. Come on. And their expectation for retirement in 2002 is still only 59% of the people said they had expectations they could live comfortably. And now that, come here, baby. But now that they're retired, 77% of the people say they are living comfortably. It's just doomsday stuff because doomsday sells. It's just that simple, man. Doomsday sells. It's the same old story. Gal began, I mean, look, a lot of people who were here are now here. A lot of people who were here are now here. Between 2002, I'm not going to read the whole thing. The whole thing is just, it's so, everyone says, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, we can't retire. And yet we have evidence year over year over year. We have 20 years of experience now. 20 years of retirees say they're doing just fine in retirement. Not everybody. We always have about 15%, 10 to 15 to 20% of the people who are not doing so great, always and everywhere. Even Jesus said the poor will always be with us. So we always have that. We always will. Will that be you? Probably not. Probably not. If you're watching this channel, it's probably not. So just relax. Take a deep breath. If all these people are doing okay retirement, none of them had pensions. I say none. The VAT member, because we always heard, 88% of the population had pensions. That's simply not true. It's just not true. Very, very few people of these people had pensions. So how can they all still be doing well in retirement if they didn't have pensions? Because, well, if they don't have pensions, we're all going to run out of money. Give yourself a break. Take a break. Take a deep breath. And look at the abundance around you. All right, I'm going to get ready to go water my plants because it's hot here. It's hot. The plants need watering. So I'm trying this electroculture thing. I got to get some more copper wires. Apparently, the lower the gauge, the smaller the gauge for the smaller the plant. So, the smaller the gauge for the higher the trees. So, I guess what a 10 gauge copper wire is thick. I guess a 6 gauge copper wire for a thick tree you'd want to put in there, but like a 20 gauge, probably too small. A 16 gauge would go for like your tomato plants. And so I'm messing around with that a little bit. It's fun. And then, but I got to get out there because my banana peppers, my sweet banana peppers, they're booming. My tomatoes, my indeterminate cherry tomatoes are starting to boom. And indeterminate means they flower basically all growing season. Determinate means they stop. They give you about 2 week time to pick and you're done. Indeterminate means they're growing all season. Now, what you want to do, you want to get the thing. So if you're growing indeterminate tomatoes, you'll have like a vine kind of thing or whatever, and you're in there in the crotch. That's called a sucker. You want to take those suckers out. You don't want to let any kind of electricity or energy going to these suckers. You want to take those guys out. So anything that's growing in your crotch of your tomato plants, and an indeterminate tomato is probably okay for the determinate. But if you look at if you're raising tomatoes, you all want to know if it's indeterminate or determinate. Just make sure you take the sucker out of there because that will waste a lot of the energy that could be used to making fruit, if that makes sense. So my peppers are growing great. It's too hot for my sugar snaps. They're suffering now. It's just too hot. They're not a good plant for the middle of the summer here in the deep south. I'll put some. I got some seedlings for onions. I'll put them in the ground probably next month. Onions like cold hardy for sure. I got some carrots in the ground. Those are cold hardy. They're just starting to germinate now. That's perfect. You want to get your carrots in probably now, maybe now towards the end of July. Carrots are great for cold hardy because they're in the ground. I mean, they're not the carrots, onions. They're literally in the ground. So good cold hardy plants. I got some Swiss chard that's growing. That's a little bit not as heat tolerant, so that's tough. That's a challenge. But I got those seedlings growing as well, which I'll put my fall plants. My tomatoes, my freaking green peppers. My peppers. I haven't had a good crop of green peppers for a couple years, man. It's crazy. What else I got back there? Rosemary's looking good. I got a watermelon plant that I bought actually on sale over at Pike's Nursery. That's booming. a couple squash plants that are starting to boom pretty well, which I thought I killed, but I've rescued them, so that's good. Anyway, of course, if you like these videos, like what we do, you want to buy me a cup of coffee, it's in the doobly-dook. If you want to sign up for my email list, love to have you. It's in the doobly-dook as well. We'll see ya.